I'm probably the middle-aged group puller right now. I need the longevity of this sport to continue. And what do we need to do to get that fan that come out of the stand and say, I want to build one of those? What you guys are doing, what Bowling Green's doing, is the educational part of it. The one great thing about tractor pulling is the pits are wide open. Come ask the pullers. They'll tell you. And once that intrigues that right person, they're like, I think I could do that, or I think I want to do that. As pullers, we need to help promote what we have.
Season 2, Stories from the National Tractor Pulling Championships. Head southwest from Cedar Rapids and you'll find the town of Marengo, Iowa, home of two-time national champion Travis Schlabach, driver of the Bone Twister Superstock diesel tractor.
I started with a good friend of mine, Denny Healy, was building a super farm tractor and started helping him with that. He had helped a guy by the name of Kevin Hustlebus that had a super farm tractor for years and was the engine mechanic on that. Then when he started building his own is when I started helping him, and just that's how I kind of got into tractor pulling, was just helping and being around the sport. The super farm class is a limited class with a lot of rules, regulations on turbos, cubic inch, pump, injection pumps, and all of that. And I wanted to make the next jump so that we didn't have the limits of rules. So that's what intrigued me to go to build a super stock diesel. It's always kind of my favorite class to watch. So we decided to jump into it and see if we could build one. The original Kevin Hustlebus, his original tractor was called Mr. Bone. So we kind of kept the Bone. Kevin always had the thought process of having the name inside of the trailer that said, "Welcome to the Boneyard." And so that's where the Bone Twister kind of come from. If you look at the back of my tractor, I have a mural on it from the 911 Twin Towers. I'm a volunteer fireman, and that is in honor of everybody, all the firemen and the emergency personnel that lost their life that day going into the towers as everybody else was trying to leave. I wanted to call it Gone But Never Forgotten. In the end, my wife decided that it was better if we just left the mural on the back in memory of them and move forward with the Bone Twister.
Luckily, we didn't get into this when the kids were little. He kind of started getting into it when they were elementary school or whatever. Well, then he was gone and I was home. And so I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth about it at first. And then just the older the kids got, the more we all got involved. And jumping up to the diesel super stock class has made a huge difference in my take on all of it. We have gotten to know so many people doing this, and it's not just the pullers, it's the pullers' families, it's the promoters, it's the people that live in the towns that we go to when we have the tractor pulls, the sponsors, track crew, everything. I mean, it's a really neat opportunity that we've had, and I appreciate it greatly.
Yeah, a real tough break here for Travis Schlabach.
First class, third tractor down the class at our noon session, and everything was going good, left the line, and about 60, 70 foot out, we burned a hole in a piston. So that's the end of the day, end of the weekend program for us. The rest of my weekend, what I'll do is help other pullers in my class, other pullers here, give them a hand of any way I possibly can. We'll stay here till Sunday morning and give us a 10-hour drive and head back home.
After Bowling Green, Travis and crew finished repairs and were ready for the next event. In his second hook, he managed a full pull, but a broken belt caused the engine to overheat and take extensive damage.
In Marengo, if you look in our history books, I mean, we were on the map. I mean, we used to be on the Highway 6 River to River Road, and before the interstate came, and we were huge.
And from what I do here in Marengo, Iowa, run two businesses, tractor pulling makes me go on vacation. If I don't tractor pull, I'm busy doing something, working in the community, working at my businesses, working on different projects. So what I do for a living, I own a plumbing and heating company that I've owned for 15 years. 6 years ago, started an appliance company. And so we have two companies. I have a bunch of rentals, commercial rentals, residential rentals.
You can tell just how important this community is to him. He's a family man. He raised his kids here. He graduated from here. His wife graduated from here. And so it's a pride thing. I think the first big one that I worked with him on was when we did a remodel of our science suite here at this school. He, of course, had a lot of background knowledge with the plumbing and the air conditioning and what we could do to make it state-of-the-art.
And he has purchased quite a few buildings and has also purchased property and has developed the property or fixed up our existing buildings that have needed a lot of work. He rents out the spaces that he fixes up to businesses. So I work with him in regards to filling his spaces.
I think it's just contagious. People see that he's willing to invest, they invest as well. Been well received by the town. I think the town recognizes the effort that he's put into and the passion he has for Marengo to keep it going and to support its growth and the community.
He just finds contacts that make my life easier when it comes to little things that I don't know who to go to. So I call on him a lot. And I think he can feel the momentum that we're gaining in our community right now, and that's important.
We're building, this is a time bomb. And when we put this motor together, this program, the turbochargers, it has a fuse on it. And what we try to do is adjust the length of that fuse, because when we start it, the fuse is lit. And can we get that fuse put out before the end of the run and keep longevity? Just like anything, one little piece of metal can stop the whole program. And it was something that I thought I did right 10 years ago. My worst moment pulling was when I left a 1/4-inch water line off the tractor as a pressure sensor, one of my data loggers, and we blew the engine apart in Chapel Hill. Looks like I was driving through the fire. I did not see 1 ounce of that fire at all. I never seen any of that flame. Them were true pictures right off the people taking the pictures coming down the track.
While his 4th place Grand National points finish earned him a spot at the invitation-only Enderley Pull-Off, he had to vacate the invite due to damage incurred the weekend prior. Following back-to-back championship years, 2023 was a year of trials and tribulations, so Travis looks to come back strong next season. Coming up on the next episode of Behind the Hook.
The fact that we are sitting at the dinner table and discussing, tires or motors, that my dad included me and everything that he did, farming, pulling wise. Renee and I had always wanted to have the chance to give that opportunity to our sons.
Behind the Hook, Season 2, stories from the National Tractor Pulling Championships.